here. Today I am back with another 5 questions, and I am here with Tyson Kidd, aka TJ Wilson. Welcome to
Hey,
5 questions.
thank you for having me. I was looking forward to this.
Yes, thank you for coming on the show. All right, let's go. Okay, so number one, TJ, I feel like people don't know how hard it is to work in WWE. What's a typical day of your life?
A typical day. So I'll break it down to like a typical week, especially when I was a talent. And this is, of course, pre-COVID, where everything's kind of changed for the moment. But um, like prior to my neck injury, it'd be like I'd wake up Friday morning, and when I say morning, I mean like 4 a.m. So almost kind of Thursday night, and then get ready, go to the airport, and fly to wherever the show might be that night. We do a show Friday night, and then we drive to wherever the show would be Saturday. We do a show Saturday, do a show Sunday, then Raw Monday, and at that time SmackDown on Tuesday. So it'd be like I'd fly into the town. You get a rental car. You go get a workout. Go get a couple meals. Get a meal to go, and then go to the arena. And then you're at the arena until 10:30 at night when the show ends, and then you drive sometimes 3-4 hours, sometimes a little about around that average, and then drive to the next town, check into the hotel, hopefully get some sleep. That first night I'm always really tired from flying in and not really sleeping much the night before. I'm pretty good at sleeping on planes, luckily, so I try to catch up little naps there. So that's kind of the typical day in WWE. And then I'd fly home on Wednesday morning, get in around like 11 or noon, and then home for a day and a half, and then back to it again, back to the same schedule.
Wow, that's kind of crazy. You don't get enough sleep, but
Yeah, and there's no the very unique thing about WWE is that there's not an off season, so it's 52 weeks a year, and so it's been almost a year now. I haven't flown. I haven't flown since last year's Elimination Chamber. We did the Elimination Chamber in Philadelphia, and I flew home, and then the pandemic and everything kind of closed down, and we've been filming out of originally Orlando, the Performance Center, and then Amway, and now in St. Pete. So I don't tell anybody, but I kind of miss the airports a little bit. And I say that now, but you fast forward a year from now, I'm probably sick of the airports again.
Number two, who do you think are the front runners of women's wrestling right now?
Right now, wow, that is an amazing question. I'm always going to be super biased, and of course say Natty. I helped train her. She's been wrestling for 18 years now. She had one knee injury prior to WWE, which she's never had an issue with ever again. And there's a reason she has the most matches and the most wins in WWE women's history. She stood the test of time, which not everybody can do, and it's tough. What we do is very tough. It's a tough life. It's a beautiful life, but it's a tough life, and so I definitely rank her there. And then this is a loaded question because I'm going to get in trouble regardless of my answer with the next two. I work very closely, and I'm very, very high on all the girls, to be honest. All the women in WWE, I'm very high on. I think every girl brings a different thing to the table. I've really grown. Some people I didn't know prior to becoming a producer, someone like, for example, Nikki Cross, that I have worked with a lot now as a producer. I didn't really know her. She was in NXT long after I was in NXT, and then I was injured. And then anyway, she's someone who I've really grown to like and respect a lot. Not that I didn't respect her before, but I mean, I really enjoy working with her. But in terms of if we're just going by 2020, this past year, I'm just gonna obviously Natty, and then I'm gonna have to say Sasha and Bailey. I thought they were the MVPs of this pandemic wrestling, and then that becomes kind of I guess a little bit. There's some luck involved because at one point we were taping like 2 weeks of TVs at a time, and if you'd gotten sick or you were in contact with someone who tested positive for COVID, you would miss those tapings. And it happened to me. I never got COVID, but I missed a few tapings just due to contact tracing, where like Sasha and Bailey didn't miss any the whole pandemic. So like them and like Asuka were like featured so heavily in the summer in a very good way, in an awesome way. And then they got to tell their story with the Hell in a Cell and all that stuff. So, I mean, but there's so many to mention. I mean, you look at Carmella these last few months has been awesome. Uh, Bianca, I thought was a star the very first time I ever watched her on NXT. The second I saw her, I knew this girl was going to be a huge, huge star. Rhea, Charlotte, Asuka, Nia. I mean, I'm going to just name the whole roster, but like Ruby, Liv, like all the women work so hard that I'm very, very biased towards all of them.
I love Sasha Banks. She's like my favorite wrestler. I'm Bianca Belair.
She's awesome, and she's a great, great person. She's so awesome.
Number 3. In my dad's interview, you picked Bianca Belair as the Royal Rumble winner, and she did win. How do you feel about your guess being correct?
That was very funny because my hand on the Bible, I did not know that Bianca was going to win. So that's kind of I actually didn't think she was. It's kind of why I picked her to win, just thinking like, well, at least it doesn't look like I'm not trying to just make myself right all the time. But then she did win, and I was it was very cool. And I thought, I don't know. So I've watched a lot of Bianca's stuff. I haven't watched all of her stuff, but I've watched a lot. And not that anything was ever missing, I didn't think, but in terms of the emotion she showed after winning that Royal Rumble was maybe, if I was really going to nitpick and think there was one thing missing, it might be that. And I think like maybe she hasn't always let us in on who Bianca really is, but in that moment, in that moment of her winning that Rumble, and I watched the special on the on the network about the Royal Rumble, and you kind of see the reaction with her and all the women and Montez and stuff after the match, like that. Those are the things that I think really help make somebody a very complete character and someone that like people watching at home can really relate to.
Yeah, totally. Number 4. If you had to pick, which cat is your favorite?
Oh, okay. First, you're trying to get me in trouble with the women of WWE, and now in trouble with my cat. So I understand. You're gonna be very good at this. You're good. You're good at poking and prodding. I'm gonna have to go with my cat Charlotte. It's she's almost 12 now. I've had her since she was a little kitten. She was a rescue cat. So she was left outside the pet store like in a box, and then like overnight, and then the pet store took her in, and then Natty went to the store. At this point, I just started on the road, and we had a Persian cat named Gizmo, and we kind of needed a companion for him while the two of us were on the road. Like I said, the schedules at that time, my schedule was a little different. I'd fly out on Saturdays, and I'd come home Wednesday, so I had one extra day home originally, but we were gone a lot, so we needed kind of a companion for him. So we got Charlotte, and then she's very loyal. We had to unfortunately put Gizmo down, but she doesn't really like my other Persians that I've gotten since. So she's just very loyal to one, and she loves me. She sleeps with me every single night. She's an amazing cat.
Aw, that's so cute. It just breaks my heart to see how people like just leave them outside. So sad.
It's crazy. I always think like I feel like animals have a really good sense in terms of in terms of who they like and things like that. And I always wonder like if she knows that, like if she can remember, or if she knows or understands like that at one stage, like she's kind of homeless. And then now like my goal is to give her the best life she could ever have for the rest of her life. And she's got to be the most spoiled cat on the planet. So I'm doing a pretty decent job.
Okay. So the 5th and final question.
Yeah.
What was it like being part of producing the evolution of women's wrestling, especially my favorite, Sasha Banks, the SmackDown champion?
It's been very fun, very fulfilling for me. I have a lot of like really nice texts from a lot of the women, from like after we maybe have like put together a match, and they go out there and they absolutely tear it down. And then they'll send me a nice text after, or if I work with someone for like an extended period of time, we'll have a lot of text exchange back and forth. But what I think they don't realize, the women, is they do way more for me than I do for them. I get a lot of fulfillment and a lot of joy out of seeing them go out there and have awesome matches and seeing how hard they want to work, and that goes that's like up and down the list of all the women on our main roster. And I only say our main roster because I'm not really at NXT. I worked with some of the NXT girls on occasion, and they're great too. But the main roster girls that I work with on a constant basis they're such pros, and I couldn't be more proud of them. And I look forward to it's going to happen, just I guess a matter of when. But Evolution 2, I really look forward to, and I think as good as the first one was, I think sit back and watch out, because I think the second one's going to even blow that one out of the water when it finally goes down, because these girls are amazing. They're amazing in the ring, and they're amazing people outside of it. So Evolution 2 gives me goosebumps when I think about it, because it's going to be insane when it finally goes down.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 100%. Well, I had an amazing conversation. Thank you so much for this.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. You asked some great questions. Very good questions.
Thank you.
No, my pleasure.
Some of them, but it's okay.
I helped with one. Only one.
That was awesome.
Okay, well, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash the thumbs up button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you get notified each time we post a video. And I'll see you guys all next time. Peace.
And you guys better do what she said, because I can tell she means business. So you better like, subscribe, hit the notifications, do all that, because you don't want her coming after you. I'm telling you. I can tell just by the questions. She's being nice to me. So just do what she says. That's all.
Thank you for listening. Tune in next week for another episode on Spreaker, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. Also follow us on Facebook at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Instagram at Straight Talk Wrestling, and on Twitter at _Straight Talk. And for all our merchandise, you can search us on ProWrestlingTees.com.